That's the point. Alright everyone, so outside of the obnoxiously florally background, which we probably need lights on.
I need to clap and the lights are on.
Ah! Anyways, as you can tell by the obnoxiously florally background, this is a very... Today is a little different. I have realized there's a lot of things that I feel like I still need to teach you that I don't have time to teach you because I'm graduating and shit's going down. That's just how life works. So, ask away and just know for every moment of silence that you have, God kills a kitten.
I doubt.
Okay, so basically you've told me before that the paperwork next semester won't be hard or anything, but do we need to should we go over like all that it entails?
That is something that when appointed election times are, which is in 2 weeks, note the 25th elections. If you are a prospective officer, let me know by then. Nudge, nudge, whatever, who's going for it. We'll talk about all that stuff after elections. There's honestly no point in doing that now, because I'm still doing it. Next! Kittens are dying right now.
What is your all-time favorite
That is a horrible question to ask a fan. It is an absolutely awful question to ask. All-time favorite isn't like what I still connect with the most. Full Metal Alchemist. By far.
When writing fiction, like I know you said before, like in writing, that it kind of, you just go with what flows, and then you kind of go back and go, but like, when you have something that has a general title, but you want to give it another title, you just basically let it be until you have something, and if you don't get any other title, you just leave it with what it's got.
I honestly hate titling. I really, really do. I think it's one of the dumbest processes of a writer, is titling their work. I will let the title come from the work, and I have changed titles 4, 5, 6 times. Short of people being angry at me and saying, "Stop changing stuff!" Okay, well, I changed the title. Suck on that. I mean, short of your fans throwing a bitch fit, I mean, or you just being mad at yourself. If the title is obviously that wrong, then you're better off just fixing it and pissing people off than leaving it as wrong.
Okay.
Or as not making as much sense as it could. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Is it because over time, like you said, the work will eventually give you the title in and of itself?
Absolutely. I mean, if you're one of those writers that can work from a title and just let that title be canon and that just works, then awesome. Cool. Have fun with that. Like Oh My Kaoru. The series never changed from Oh My Kaoru. Every chapter title is different. Well, I don't think I've ever really changed chapter titles either. But it stayed as that, and it just happened to fit that that was the name of the series and that what was going on. It's just consistent, like, oh my, kind of scenario written. Just a consistent, oh my, kind of thing. So, it just ended up working out. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Next!
Is your role play still becoming real life for you?
Actually, my hand injury is healing and I'm doing quite well. Oh, my roleplay had come to life mildly for a minute. It's like, if I turn into an incubus, then hopefully awesome things will happen. But no, life has continued to be life. I'm not sexy and my hand is fine.
Okay.
Huh?
Now, if you were to turn into an incubus,
Yes.
who out of this room would you seduce first to steal their soul?
Does it have to be a girl?
There's 3 guys here. Well,
Does it have to be someone in this room?
Yeah, no.
Because none of you are my type to do things with. As far as who do I think has the tastiest soul, I think Selena probably has the tastiest soul because she's the most innocent. So she's going to be like a tasty snack. So I guess I'm seducing you, Selena.
you shall. You don't discriminate.
I like sweet. I like sweet.
Okay, favorite guy character. Hey, yeah.
Favorite male character of all time?
Yes.
Again, you're asking me like all general
You
questions.
said anything.
Yeah, I mean I accept that. Anything sorry. I'm a massive Moroku fan. Up until he starts like obviously going after Sango,
Oh
like
my
not
God.
that when it's cute, kind of like yeah, she's there, and Kagome's too young. But then it was like obviously like I'm trying to say that I love you, but I don't know how to say it any other way. I'm trying to convey deeper emotion, but I can't.
I guess you put it that way.
Like I liked him up until that point, and it was kind of like, oh, you poor sad perverted man. But like when you first introduced me, he's kind of like a god mod, where it's like I have a giant staff on which to beat things with. I walk around naked for most of the series. It's like awesome. A lot of the manga you see him shirtless.
Don't forget the wind tunnel.
And the giant vagina in his hand.
Hey, personality.
Exactly.
The pervert has a vagina in his hand.
And has a giant abyssal vagina in his hand.
Never ending.
Okay, I've never thought of it that way.
It is. I'm just saying.
So, who's your favorite Pokemon?
My favorite Pokemon, Drifloon.
Oh, that's right.
And do I have to pick a gen?
No.
I love Drifloon. I'm very, very associated with them Eevees.
I love babies.
They're delicious.
And any of their evolved forms?
I personally think a lot of the evolved forms are kind of stupid now.
Yeah.
But I was actually really, really in love with Umbreon and Espeon. I thought Espeon was cuter. I found Umbreon a little like angsty. It's like, oh, okay, you're dark.
Confuse you that Eevee was a dog and then he transformed into a cat.
No, because I didn't think. I just thought that if I had to eat any of my Pokemon, my Eevee would probably be the tastiest.
Why Eevee would be the
See,
taste?
I totally called it. I called it like a second ago. I was like, Eevees are delicious.
Yeah.
And then,
I mean, you have to consider these Donner Party like scenarios that a Squirtle would be too hard to cook, a Charmander would eventually learn that it wants to eat you and that it can eat you.
That's true.
You
what
know.
about Miltank? Why
I
don't you
think
carry
you
on
would.
Miltank?
Well,
Electric you.
I would feel bad for Miltank because I think if the Miltank eventually wised up, it could kill me. Like, remember the Flaffy episode where there was like herds of Flaffy? And like they realized, hey, once we wise up, we can use our static to assault people. What? Oh, they're the little static sheep?
That's right, and Bulbasaur would be poisonous.
Yeah, Bulbasaur can poison
Pikachu
you.
would electrocute you
Yeah.
as you ate him.
He's also
Hey,
a
you can
rat.
also use your Merit and shape your Merit and
Yes.
make it will coat
That
will
will-
absorb electricity.
That will protect me against lightning bolts. So yes.
Wow.
Next.
Oh, favorite female character.
We're trying to
Jakutsu!
We're trying to
I'm sorry, what?
What? That is
Because-
not a female.
Well,
I
actually,
guess it could count.
well,
I
actually, Takahashi was thinking about making Jakutsu a woman to begin with.
So then I win. Jakutsu.
Okay, well, females that we know that
Okay, they're
for
actually
certain are
girls.
female.
Okay.
Not female.
Misty. It's
No.
obviously Misty.
No. Actually, Rangiku?
Look at the perverted smile on your face.
Sure. Actually, I have a real big thing for Tsunade.
She's
Naruto.
like 95.
With tits like that, I give a flying fuck.
She's like 95.
Tits in epicness.
Oh, she's 95
When
years
that thing,
old.
when that thing
Don't
stays on her
care.
forehead, she turns
Don't care.
Here.
Don't care.
It's just like,
Robert, the tits are there most of the time.
Don't care.
okay.
Next!
So, you said you spent 2 years inking. Did
Yes.
you, like, have a professional help you, or was it online tutorials?
Oh
or how-
no, it was a lot of fucking up a lot of papers. It was learning and buying books and figuring out techniques and screwing up a lot, honestly. I think I actually had one pen explode on one of the original prints of my Kaoru. And I'm like, seppuku time! It's like, time to kill myself.
You can't do anything about the pin exploding.
Yeah, but still, you have those moments of like, yep, it's time to die. Alright.
So, when she said that, I just imagined like Amanda inking, like a
I do not jizz out ink.
defense mechanism.
No, it is not a defense mechanism.
Hey Amanda, about those papers.
Next.
How many times has seppuku crossed your mind?
Recently?
More than two.
Does the designation help? Like in the last few months?
what process you want?
Seppuku.
Ritual
know that
suicide.
If you have, if she has to ask us to clarify, it's far too many for us to want to know.
More of
Seppuku is ritualistic suicide where you are forced to stab yourself in the stomach, which is different from other method of disemboweling. Seppuku is the only one that doesn't force you to have a second. That was highly encouraged that you have someone as a second in case you don't die. But it basically, the feudal lord would look at his samurai and say, "You fucked up, you must die now." And the samurai, "Alright." And they'd go off into a nice clean room and stab themselves until
Oh
they
my
died.
gosh, I wish I hadn't asked.
That's the answer.
What are you talking about? It happens all the time.
Isn't it respected rule?
Next!
Haven't you seen the empty room from Founders?
That's true.
They failed one of their classes. They're
Can you
like,
not
it's
tell
time
me
to
that?
die.
Can you not tell me that?
Actually, there was a bunch of founder suicides,
Can
so
you not
it's
tell
probably
me?
haunted. I'm just saying. Next!
There was a bunch of founder suicides?
Yeah.
I knew that there were suicides.
Yes.
but- Okay.
The school is supposed to let you know that.
Well, obviously. Oh yeah, so this is St. Mary's, and by the way, there's been many suicides and stuff.
Exactly.
But that is a interesting thing to learn, though.
It is.
After you're already here and you've basically
Or like when I
bound
had the
yourself to the
poltergeist dream in
school.
Treadaway.
Oh god.
It's beneficial to learn.
How do things look when they're floating in midair with no real thing moving?
I was across from the exorcism room when I was in the poltergeist room. How do things look when they're floating in midair?
Yes.
Horrifying.
What floated in midair above you?
Actually, I have a story. It wasn't true floating, but I was staying with my godmother, and she had crucifixes all over the house because she's like uber Catholic. And I remember I was walking to go get a drink one night, and one like leapt off of the wall. It was glow in the dark. And it was the scariest thing in the entire world. Like this Yoda green glowing crucifix like leap off of the wall, like shoom. I started like screaming uncontrollably. But no, I've had things disappear in my room. I've woken up with scratches and with bruises that are
I remember
unexplainable.
that.
That's
I
crazy.
mean, I haven't seen anything float, but really, really scary, like unexplainable things have happened while I was
Do you see
away.
things in the mirror at night?
Yeah, I have seen shadows in the mirror, and it's like, well,
I think that's the creepiest thing. Like when you see things in the mirror. That's
I think the creepiest thing for me was I woke up with scratches on my leg, but they were in a really, really odd pattern. Because I was only, I was like, oh, well, I scratched myself, or it was my toenails.
Was it the three?
But it was in a pattern of 3. And my friend Nicole, who actually does that stuff, she's like, that means that something tried to grab you while you were sleeping. And I was like, because I sent her a picture, she's like, yeah, that means something tried to grab you.
Like drag you away.
Yes, like,
I don't know, I haven't
Was
I
it on
haven't
both
had,
flags or
like,
just one?
just one.
It was just the one. It was all semester.
I remember that.
I haven't had anything like at home, but like I know one time there was when we were in a hotel in Europe, there was this one, it was like a really, really old hotel. So yeah, there was some creepy stuff that happened there.
Obviously, it's Europe.
Yeah. I had a really terrible, like really bad dream, and then I woke up crying.
I think France ended up saying this really cutely about England, that everything there is haunted.
And my mom, like imagine there was some kind of scarecrow or something coming to, it was, and she was like screaming and she couldn't swim, she lost her voice, and it was trying to attack my dad, but like, and my mom was trying to tell him that it was attacking her and everything, but like,
It is pagan.
Yeah.
Next!
Pagan thing.
Well, at least you haven't seen. At least you haven't woken up in the middle of the night with a giant lizard creature staring at you above, staring right above you, and you're unable to move, and it's just like getting closer and closer.
I dream in anime, I dream of far worse things.
do you really have to look like that when you're saying?
Oh, so did you ever find out what y'all were trying to get that y'all broke into Treadway for in your dream?
Who, what?
That dream you had when you, Lauren, and Shauna broke into Treadway.
No, I never
What?
figured it out. I figured out exactly.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Nothing.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm
And you suck as Toma.
Oh, she already explained.
Lauren already know.
You're an awful Toma.
So, the room across from you was the exorcism room,
Yes,
and why was it called the exorcism room?
because an exorcism happened there, and it was unsuccessful.
That's creepy.
I'm sorry, did you just say it was unsuccessful?
Yeah.
You should
Like,
tell
as
us.
in,
Please.
As in it didn't work, bro.
as in the person died. Like,
No, no one died, just the demon was too strong to be exorcised.
so it was.
It was the
closed off.
50s, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they finally decided to try to purge some of the evil from Treadaway, and it just didn't work.
If
Calling
you
you.
don't know that Treadaway used to be, well, the rooms are so small because that's where the devout brothers would stay.
That's excellent.
It's very tiny, so they would just be in the room. You get very,
They kill themselves a lot, or they will convert to the Dark Lord,
and
which is just as bad as killing
so
themselves.
then St. Louis Hall, they said a brother was doing something and they died in St. Louis Hall, and that's why it's supposed to be haunted.
But yes.
Yay! Ghost stories.
Next!
At least it's not a goblin cat.
Oh, God.
And now the goblin cat will come.
I was lucky I had to leave. I didn't have to watch.
God, that Uriyu Ichigo that we have.
Oh, my God, we thought. Oh, God.
I know I've said this. Sean and I were sitting out underneath Elias, and I noticed this like glowing thing in a tree, and I'm trying to ignore it. It's like I'm trying to be tough shit. It's like whatever. It's just it's obviously a glowworm or something. It looked like a pair of eyes.
Right.
It was like a pair of cat eyes. And I remember looking at Shauna. I was like, Shauna, okay, you're gonna think I'm totally crazy, but do you see the pair of eyes? They're just like, oh my God, Amanda, I've seen the same thing.
I was like, I
Same
didn't see
thing.
it, but I didn't think it was
And I think we both like promptly got up and like, nope, fucking nope.
We started
Nope.
walking
Are you
away.
sure it was
Well,
goblin
it's
cat
your own
though?
fault for showing a goblin cat story.
It was.
Wait, did you know those? I mean, did you like?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you showed it to us with the intention of bringing
Well,
it
I'd
on.
hope that you all would have strong enough spiritual pressure to fend it off.
But yeah, that worked out. Melina woke up with scratches.
I know, you
Travis
had a
woke up with
cross on
scratches. She had a cross on the bed. It didn't work.
You had woken up with scratches, also remember that.
I was fine.
I didn't wake up with scratches, but then we had the weird.
Oh, the
there was a
goblin.
shutting of my door
Oh, the goblin cat.
randomly.
He just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to say.
He hasn't been back from what I recall.
Well, because we haven't seen it again.
So, who wants to go watch a movie?
No.
So, kids, who wants to have
Of
a
the
movie?
Ring. I mean, I
Oh,
found
God, I
it.
hate
So, next question.
Well, I mean,
God's killing
how do
kittens.
you know all of this?
All of what?
Like all of this exorcism, like where'd you get this information from?
Word
You've
of
been at
mouth.
this school, like, I mean, how did you find this all out?
Word of mouth and research, honestly. I mean, I tell you guys every chance I get research. It's not that this stuff isn't there, it's just harder to find. Honestly, you talk to the right brothers, you talk to the right faculty members, they'll tell you. You go to the right departments, ask the right questions, they have no shame. They have nothing to hide from you. And actually, I found out about the haunting of the UC by working there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
A guy actually had a heart attack and fell off the second railing, and he landed on one of the tiles. And that specific tile, like if you go there, it has like a really, really weird energy signature, like a visibly weird energy. It's like underneath the stairs, like because he had a heart attack off the second floor railing, like it's like directly underneath it, like slightly off, and like you can tell which tile it is also. If you want to,
You kind of just.
yeah. I mean, go to the right faculty, ask the
There's
right
also
questions.
something in the
Yeah,
girls'
but
bathroom
like, it's
upstairs.
kind of a lot you know. Like,
She's
you
been here
know
4 years.
lots.
I'm a senpai. You don't get this role just for being around. Next. Kittens are dying. I'm just letting you know.
Do you have anything to ask your co-host?
Ah, that's actually a good question.
Yeah, you can ask us questions. Questions.
Surprise, rather.
So, what have you guys learned?
A lot.
Oh,
I mean,
What has stuck with you?
the writing stuff, for
The
one.
ghosts.
The difference between the newer anime and the older anime, like I went back and I'm watching, like I really know it's like when watching Shugo Kara and you can see some of the still drawing stuff versus watching Trigun versus watching Durarara. There's just like,
Oh, well, that was all CG.
yeah.
yeah.
I like Durarara, but like in the sense of like the drawing styles and how it's all done for CG versus drawing. Like I'm noticing.
Well, then, like, you look at cell style and, like, how, like I said, I went back and I watched Gravitation. It's like, why aren't Yuki's arms moving while he's typing?
It's technology.
Why does Hito's forearm not move when he plays guitar? And you have to think, in 2006, animation could not progress any further. This was, like, top of the line, cutting edge. This was amazing. But it's like, why?
And it was bright and it was colorful and the old
Like,
style.
why do hair and eyes overlap each other?
I know, it's so funny. It's so
It's
funny.
like, why is his eye overtaking his hair?
Yeah, when I went and watched Yu-Gi-Oh again, the first
You just realize how shitty it is.
yeah, I was just like, wow, this is
It's
really
really
bad.
dark. It's really, really poorly shaded. Like the entire front of Tristan's hair is like pencil shaded in. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like a giant unicorn
And their
horn.
hair, you know, when their hair doesn't move.
It doesn't move.
Except for when the wind blows. Like when Kaiba takes off in his random helicopters. They're like kind of nowhere.
In the movie, their hair actually moved. And
Oh,
like, but that's because I think in the movie they actually put effort in time.
And Pegasus has this uber pedo moment. One of the original lines is Kaiba is basically alluding that he might have like cheated his way through Duelist Kingdom, which is true, he did. He's like, now, Kaiba boy, save those tricks for the bedroom. And it's like, it's like, what? What? It's like,
Well, Pegasus is blatantly homo.
no, he was married.
Huh?
He was married.
No.
Married.
I don't believe it.
He was
in love.
Listen, if you can be Michael Jackson of this series, he was married, he was happy.
Like Tomo's married
Oh, also the
Just like
yeah, genres, David, the different genres, and with how like how Bebop had their own, and like it was so like intense and awesome that it made me like.
so intense and awesome.
Intense.
What have you guys not liked?
What have we not liked?
Yeah.
Being haunted by a goblin cat. Is that a legitimate answer for you?
That is a legitimate answer. I accept that.
Well, then again, it was an interesting adventure, and then going into Melina's room, it offered some really interesting moments where I tried to scare her.
That's not nice.
Honestly, I mean, you guys would be going into a semester without me. What could have been different?
Well,
We do not own that.
Oh yeah, you have to say that so they don't,
Anyway.
disclaimer.
Oh yeah, just I don't know. It's all been very interesting information. Things I didn't know about before.
Okay, usually you say interesting means you don't like it. Or you don't
Okay,
know.
fine. It was great information.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Beautiful information.
Beautiful,
Beautiful.
delicious,
Like,
Delicious.
like cherry blossoms.
tangible.
Cherry blossoms taking me to Nirvana. Beautiful.
Okay, I can respect that. I mean, don't be afraid. I mean, honestly, the worst thing that might happen is I might cry. That would be the worst thing ever.
That was horrifying.
You leaving there.
Oh, I went home and I sobbed. It's like, I have to leave. And my aunt's just like, it's an anime club, get the fuck over it. Like, you just did.
Isn't she alright with everything?
She is. She is.
Don't worry, it's not like we won't be dragging you back over here.
Even if I get a job in San Antonio?
Yeah.
If
And
you
then
get
drag
a
you back over
job
here.
in San Antonio, I think you can guarantee seeing us quite a bit.
We will
If you got
come.
a job
we
in
will
like
say,
Switzerland or like Ireland or something, we go get you with hooks.
Why would I be in Ireland? I'm
With
not.
hooks.
You did apply to Alaska though, so.
I did apply in Alaska.
We'll
And
drag
you do
out.
have a cousin overseas. So once again,
You think you were scared when you woke up to scratches in your leg,
People left
something was
me
trying to
back
pull
there.
you away. Wait until we get to you.
Senpai, we might have to smuggle you back in the country. Pay some smugglers.
Just don't make it a box label fuck.
Wait, I still have to have the sand imported.
Oh, and sand coffee.
There will be no sand coffin.
Say that.
When? I said if they brought the sand, I'd lay there.
Oh
And it's not doing the whole Speedo thing.
Oh my god.
yeah. Speedo. That just.
He's covered in flowers.
Oh, that's right.
Just make it non-allergic, okay? Because actually, it will become my burial device.
Oh, I thought it was from Dora.
No.
It's a sand coffin.
No, it's not got us.
It's
We could talk it.
okay.
Or if
Well,
you
we
put it
do
in
have
Palestine,
sand.
kill
We
her.
just might not have enough. It might take up all the sand around it.
That is a giant litter box with wild cats. It will not bury me in that sand.
What's this? Oh, look, I found it. Oh, that's not treasure.
I
Oh,
guess the only criticism that comes to mind, though I also have understanding about it, is the one workshop, the music workshop. Maybe a PowerPoint or something would have helped with that. I know it was a tricky subject.
No, I mean, I can understand that. I mean, yeah, it just goes back to, I mean, there's so many different categories, and there's so much within that. And it's really one of those things that I can't teach you guys what's good. I can teach you what to listen for, and I can teach you how to make that an easier experience for you. But it's one of those things where either you kind of know it or you don't. Like, you should know the difference between rock and rap in English, therefore you should know it in Japanese, you know?
Yeah.
If you don't know the difference in English, you're probably not going to get it anywhere else. So, like, I guess that was one of my issues, is having a basic understanding that, or assuming that there'd be that commonly shared understanding that if you know genre here, it really isn't any different anywhere else, just language changes and the subject matter changes. That makes sense? Next.
I was thinking of rereading a whole Inuyasha series this summer.
Okay.
Yes. Because I mean, I stopped at like 30 something. There's so many little minor details I used to like know like this, where now I'm kind of like, oh, okay, just stop and think about it for a while so I think I might.
Yeah, there's a lot of me that wants to go back and watch Inuyasha, but then I remember I tried to, I think like Change the World came on, and I was just like, nope. I instantly back to that part of my childhood that was like so devastated
Oh.
with that series, and then I just kind of stopped.
Yeah, and also I want to, again, I watched the anime too. You watch it, and then also like I'm not gonna buy the comic books, you know, just like read them on the internet. 'Cause-
That is a bad thing to hear as a senpai.
Oh,
You need to
I'm
be
sorry. Well, yeah, I know, but it just because
Takahashi isn't getting paid. You know where she lives?
They closed the only bookstore in my city, and I was like,
You don't have a
why?
Barnes and Nobles?
No, we
They
don't.
closed the only bookstore in my city.
Like, who does that? Really? Like, who does that?
Order them off the internet.
That's what I said. I was like,
Oh, I thought you meant like streaming. Okay, we're
oh,
good.
no.
Okay, we're good.
Wait, what do you think I said?
I think we're good.
I mean, I'll buy them eventually, though. I'd like to have all of them, like, for a little second, I think, but just in,
I don't want all of them. Kind of at that phase where I'm just picking
You know what?
chapters.
I think there's like 56 in all. Have you finished America?
Yes.
If they finished it, it's now on
I don't
this
have any
edition.
questions for you
There's
guys.
nothing you want to know
Free and
about
home.
it?
Well, I mean, I talk to you guys. I definitely think that's something that I've always prized with this organization is that this is definitely by no means a typical RSO, is that I know you guys, we've hung out, we've spent time together, you know, one-on-one, most of you guys. And I really respect that. I don't have a lot of questions because I talk to you. This isn't, you know, one of those massive nameless organizations where you're pledge number 502 and I just want you to go get me coffee.
Do you want coffee?
Kind of, but I won't make you get it for me.
So did you enjoy your sandwich?
I did.
That's good.
I did.
Speaking of food, I have one, like, your favorite, because, like, we went to a Japanese restaurant, and I was trying, like, what is, like, your all-time favorite meal that you've had there, or anywhere else that's been, like, a Japanese meal?
Honestly, I love chicken teriyaki. It's one of those things that is so easy to make, but so easy to fuck up. If I can find it good anywhere, honestly, that is like one of my favorite dishes. Because it's such a guilty pleasure of mine. Because it's something that I don't like making. It's just complicated enough that I don't like it. But I love eating it when someone else does it for me. I love sashimi. I love raw fish. I love sweet shrimp. I love eel. I very much enjoy eel. So, yeah, my tastes are kind of odd when it comes to Japanese food. I actually surprisingly don't like a lot of things from Japan. Seaweed makes me nervous every once in a while. And
It makes you nervous?
Well,
I mean, it tastes like ocean.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So,
It's a
we have a
weed.
long running debate, right, Corey? Who would win, Gada or Edward? We've had this versus
Oh,
thing.
Edward.
Oh.
Edward. All money on Edward.
But is this should
What are the circumstances? Which Gada? She put in or not? She put in Gada?
She put in Gada after
Versus-
after he already took after the raccoon's already been taken out of him. Raccoon died. And he's like,
And which version of Ed?
what version of that did we pick? The most
Jesus.
yeah.
Ed.
First thing.
Ed. Gada would have pussied out. Like, I can't kill another person. Alright, well, I can't.
Well, that's not true, because Gada wouldn't. Gada's never had trouble killing somebody.
He would have pussied out, trust me.
I think once we get him into the camp of Naruto's nonsense in 2 years, he would.
Yeah, this is first gen Gada, I'd be like, death.
Yeah,
And Ed would never be able to draw a transmutation circle or get one off. Like, it would have never worked.
but Gada, the problem with the first generation Gada, even if it was fighting him, was the first generation Gada was significantly weaker than Shippuden.
But physical strength does not account for mental stability. You can be the strongest physical fighter, but if you're a pussy,
Oh,
you aren't
just
going
like,
to do anything.
well, not really. I mean, like the samurai and Viking.
Very good! Just like Deadliest Warrior.
Even then, Edward would be able to turn his stand into something
That
else.
sand moved pretty damn quick.
I think Ed would have won pretty easily. I do believe that. I think
And then once he figured out that Gada had sand all over his body,
it would have been glass. So Edward all the way.
No, I mean against first generation Garda.
No, either way.
Either
Ed
way?
would have won.
yeah, because even then, first generation Gada, I don't think the sand moves quickly enough.
It did. It kind of slithered.
Yeah.
It definitely
It's like
wasn't
a
as
snake.
adaptable.
It's like,
Does that solve your feud?
is this all of you? I was going for Gada, but
I was going for Ed.
and Eli was incapacitated in the back seat.
Wait,
What?
No, right.
Anywho.
He's also.
So, any other questions?
All the animes you see are pretty cool. Even the ones I didn't like, they were still pretty interesting too.
I'm glad.
It's a good distinction.
I mean, this has made me confront some of my personal biases, made me look at things. I always say that the biggest mistake I think I made is that I walked into this with a lot of biases. I walked into this organization with 10 plus years of knowing what I like and knowing what I don't like and no one ever really questioning that. Outside of the occasional fangirl battle I have like with Mandy or my friend Nicole back home, no one's really ever been able to say that my tastes are wrong. And having an organization that's so diverse, bless you, it's been a wonderful challenge. You know, I'm not gonna say it's been easy, but it's been a very, very interesting experience to go through and have me to be confronted with a lot of these biases that I've put up. I mean, I still think Vocaloid music sounds like demon screeching. I'd much rather take, Sebastian drawing his nails across a chalkboard than to hear another Vocaloid song. I'd much rather be stabbed with your eyes with bamboo shoots than watch another episode.
Bless you.
But I have to confront these things so that I at least know what's going on, so I can be a better senpai to you guys. That make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, by no means, I'm gonna go hang out with a bunch of, cosplayers, like, yeah! That's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna go break out my Miku costume and go frolic around the league. That's not happening. Exactly.
Speaking of which, I ran into a Miku at the mall.
That's an odd thing to do.
Like, it was just a random, girl dressed as Miku, and I was like,
I ran into a furry at the mall. I just felt really tempted to have a shotgun. Like, is it hunting season already?
Always something to see in Texas.
There's always hunting season when it comes to furries.
are you sure?
Yes.
How do they taste?
Pretty
don't
awful.
You don't eat
They're
them.
trophies. You stuff them.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god! I showed my little brother. You know the what's it called? The adult sim thing with the giraffe.
Yes.
I showed my little brother. He thought it was hilarious. The part where he's like beep beep. It's like a part.
Yes.
Oh, and then someone put on YouTube that all of those 5 stages are what you go through when you're buying gas.
They are. Anything else?
If you can have a set of wings, what would they be?
Honestly, they'd probably be small and bat-like. I probably wouldn't be able to fly very effectively.
Small and bat-like? Why small and bat-like?
Well, just proportionate-wise, I wouldn't have a need for a giant pair of like battle wings. Also, I have nowhere to be. And most of these beasts, I can creep on people a little easier.
That's true. You won't be able to. I mean, people are going to notice you have like two wings. You won't be able to.
I think if you have any kind of wing, they're going to notice. Right? Or a chicken. I think anyone's going to notice.
Since I know you've done a massive amount of cosplay, is there any in particular, aside from Yuki from Gravitation, that you love? Like, your favorite one?
You're asking me cosplay.
I mean, honestly, I love anything that gets people to respect that I'm a person. Like, I think one of the best cosplays that I did was, honestly, I did Aizawa from Gravitation. And anyone who knew Gravitation knew exactly what message I was sending by, sure, I know that you know who I am, but because you know that, you're going to leave me alone. You set off a very, very clear message when you're a character that is well known, but is not exactly a villain, but definitely not well liked. So I also had a blast doing Kitazawa. Is when you have those characters that are in those kind of ambiguous roles that people are going to leave you alone for, but if they are going to approach you, they're going to do it with dignity. I really, really hate doing popular characters. The reason why I only started doing Sebastian privately is because, like, oh my god, don't touch me. So I really don't like doing massively popular characters. I don't like being touched. I don't like it because, like, I do remember I had done Kakashi for one of my friends, and I was kind of hanging around, and we were at a convention. There was a bunch of children, like little 10-year-old Naruto's. Kakashi Sensei, Kakashi Sensei,
Oh my God, that's so
Kakashi Sensei, Kakashi Sensei, Kakashi Sensei. Like, I swear to God, if you don't stop touching my clothes, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, I rose out of my skin, like fire background and everything. I really have a hard time being that anymore. And I love it, and if I could style and be that again, I love it. But I swear to God, if someone else comes up to me, it's just like, whoosh.
1,000 years of death.
Yes, Amber?
So, I like being obscure characters, honestly. I like it to where you either know exactly who I am, or you have no idea who I am.
Like being an enigma, in a sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, not really. I mean, it's one of those things where either you know it's a blatant thing. You know the series, you don't know the series. Like I said, whenever I talk about Gravitation, I said Aizawa. Anyone who knew Gravitation was like, oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some anime where people even don't even read or watch it, where the character is so popular that oh yeah, we know who that person is, even if
Yeah.
So,
It's like my aunt can recognize Inuyasha, and she doesn't know Japan's still a country some days.
So when you do finally do those popular characters like, say, Ryuichi, is it just because you love it?
Shoots, and honestly because I lose bets. I'm a gambling woman.
Really?
Alright, mon cher. We'll play this gambit game. Yes, I'm a gambling woman.
Yes.
I lose bets a lot. And I end up having to do very, very horrible things because of bets.
Like Tsunade.
Like the Suichi.
Like Suichi. Like the one time someone tried to put me into a CL outfit and I hissed and recoiled with light.
UCL, no.
See? It doesn't make sense.
Yes, UCL, no. My inner Lizzie is even going, no, no.
See, I would have divorced you because I knew it was just for money. I'm just saying.
How would you ever come off as that useless? How? Would you be asleep and drugged and carted around?
Yeah, basically they knew that I'd be tied up and just hoisted over Sebastian's shoulder because otherwise I'd be too active. Like I tried doing Hanatsudo from Bleach,
Yeah.
and short of me flailing around because I was miserable, I really was like too active and like, yeah, you're a horrible Hanatsudo. We're gonna go put the Byakuyo wig on you. We're just gonna have to deal with it. It's like, oh. Next.
Oh, so with the chapter that does not exist and Sebastian wearing what he is, how do you think pulling off Kane's going to go?
If I can make these go away, honestly, it's fine. I mean, my hair is short enough, I have glasses, I need to invert a couple rosaries and commit the ultimate taboo, but we're fine.
Wow.
They said that probably really quickly, yeah, we didn't hear that.
Yeah, so we didn't catch that at all.
Kane is a demon bartender, and he wears inverted rosaries. So I kind of
yeah, I
have
get
to.
it.
I kind of want to cosplay as Grell before he becomes Grell.
That is, I will warn you,
fail,
I've
Grell.
styled Grell. It is a costume that very, very easily turns to fail.
Like, not the original Grell. Well, not the Grell when he...
The Butler Grell?
Yeah,
Butler Grell.
That's unidentifiable. There's the problem with that, is that no one would know who this Puritan man is. Who is this guy in a dress? No one would understand that that's Grell. Like, most people would have a very, very hard time associating with Grell. Now, when you make his full, magnificent outfit, it's just an outfit that very, very quickly turns into a giant orgy.
Fail.
Just failure.
What if you added a Madame Red in that scenario?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
You still
But
don't
they're still
realize
not
that
going to
it's...
be.
No, you're
Fair
still
enough.
not going to realize it's going to...
The average fan, honestly, is not going to recognize human Grell.
Oh.
And it's there on purpose. He's not meant to overcast Sebastian. It's the issue that we have with season 2, is that we had to make Claude just odd enough where we didn't start wondering who is this Sebastian cosplayer. That makes sense? Awesome. Next!
Hmm? Yeah. You hear them crying in the background.
Oh my god.
I know, the kids are all different.
Oh, how was
No, you
the
can't.
Christina's comic coming along being colored?
Huh? Oh, it's decent. I've just been busy.
Mhm.
I've just been busy, that's all. I take responsibility for that. Any of you thinking about cosplaying anytime soon? Outside of
Outside of the cosplayers.
I have an idea for one back in my head.
And I am thinking of going to San I can't do it this summer because I'm busy, but like for next summer, I might go to it.
That's really, really far in advance to plan.
Oh.
Unless it's the con you do.
I mean, unless it's like hardcore,
No, I'm just
yes.
saying, like right now, I'm not doing anytime soon, but I don't know if it'll change by next summer.
I mean, just
Like for me, YuleCon and InkyCon are pretty much
the
definite
farthest in
because
advance you'll plan.
yeah, because these are my definite cons. And I know that InkyCon is an every year thing unless they change the date.
Well, not more. It's just it's hard to plan that far in advance unless it's like really, really big. San Japan to me, honestly, is a little small to plan that part. Now I plan a year in advance like YaoiCon. I plan that part in advance like ACon for like AX. I'll plan a year in advance for something that's really, really worth it. No diss to San Japan, but that's just a little small to be planning a year out for. You know, play it by ear.
Yeah,
The demographic of San Japan, I will warn, is very juvenile. It's a lot of teenagers. And if you're okay with that, take it. You know, it's a lot of fun. I definitely will never dog San Japan. It's just down boy. It's just not one that I like being around. I personally, I would love to put all the teenagers onto a rocket ship and fire them off into Mars.
No. Fire them. Go to my room.
No, Robert, no.
I'll bring the rope and Tamale bring the book.
No, I
Senpai,
won't.
we don't want to put them on Mars because once we destroy Earth, we have to kind of move there.
But Mars is too hot.
It's
We
not
can
the
move to that
moon.
moon.
The moon, there
The
you go.
moon that's
Or we can just wait until they
orbiting
sprout
some
into
planet.
adults.
They never
Like,
will.
it has an
Some
ocean
people don't
underneath
grow
it.
up.
That's true. So, I mean, San Japan's great. I will never dog San Japan on or off camera. Never. I won't. But it's just not for me. And that goes directly back to my background with my conventions, where I grew
You see,
up,
I've never
my
really
fandom.
been to.
I think San Japan would be great for you. I think, and that's no diss to you, that's just where you
Oh,
are.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, I think San Japan would be great for you. For me, it'd be, well, I'm gonna go hang myself, look for my noose, you know?
Oh, what was your favorite convention that you've been to?
I love A-Kon, but it's massive. A-Fest, honestly, is my favorite. Because A-Fest is just big enough and it has a lot of those older cosplayers. Like, I saw Yuki and Suichi at A-Fest. It's like, oh my god!
I noticed with YuleCon, you get some of the older.
Because we're all in that area, we
Yeah,
have nowhere to be.
we're all, you
We
get
have
a lot of the
lives.
old because of the timing it
The
is.
time and the
You're not getting it gives me the high school or middle school students.
And if
who
you
think
do get those high school and middle schoolers, they are on their
their
shit.
shit.
And there was like a little 9-year-old Kyuubi cosplayer,
Wow.
and he was just adorable. He was just
so
amazing.
cute.
Like, I mean, he needed like have his tails held and everything, but he was amazing. So if you do get kids there, they are on their shit, kids, or their accessories. Like they're like
Yeah.
the really hot Christmas Kakashi that was there. He had his brother who was Naruto, but he was an accessory. So he was just kind of there to be quiet. It's like,
Oh my god.
What?
Did you say very hot Kakashi? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
he was a
Oh,
very,
yes.
very hot Christmas Kakashi.
He was?
Is it
His
the
present
like,
was
which
as
year
well.
was it? Is it the same? Yeah.
Oh my god. You wouldn't remember his name or anything.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you never exchange real names at con. It's just unprofessional, honestly. Because I mean, you're an actor basically.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's
you
just,
don't like know
Yeah.
people there. so
Well, and
it's
moreover,
like,
you don't-
Hey, by the way, here's my name, here's my phone number.
and you don't want to know people there. You know, they're sort of. And I always says, be really, really careful about relationships in con. I mean, if you're gonna be dating someone, date a cosplayer because they understand. One of the best decisions I ever made was dating Ray because he is a cosplayer. So when I went away to con, guess what? He didn't care. It's like, you know, if you're gonna go screw around, be smart about it. Don't be stupid, you know.
Yeah.
Be safe, protect yourself, protect the other person. But, you know, he knows that con weekend's crazy. Now, it's no excuse to be completely off the wall, but con is a very, very different place. You aren't yourself. You're not around your usual group of people. You can really be someone else. And oftentimes, you are.
Which
That
is
can be-
why a lot of us
That
like
can be
it.
really dangerous.
Hmm.
That can be really, really great. It can be really, really freeing. I like that about going to a convention, going to a different city in a different outfit with a different group of people, and having no preconceived notions of what I am or what I used to be.
And even if you're going with a group that you
That
go with,
group
they know
transforms
they're
itself
yeah.
around you.
So like my big brother Isaac and Brian and Katrina and you know all our friends have become this group that we go cosplay together. But we all know we have all these different costumes and we are all accepted in cosplay or out for who we are.
Right.
And that's why I like it, as I can be myself and be someone else.
And then that just comes down to having a good, solid group of people around you. I mean, I never advise going to a convention alone. That's just sad to me. I mean, there's really no excuse to go to a con by yourself. You know, you should go at least with two other people, at least. It's just more fun that way, and that way they can kind of keep an eye on you.
The only reason I go UConn is because Isaac got me to go, and then like this coming year, my friend Katrina is probably going with us. So, and it's become the way of because we used to live in Dallas. My mom and I get to see old friends from Dallas, so it's
Yeah,
become
it's
a
it becomes
mother-daughter thing.
eventually convention becomes a giant excuse to go to places, and it's just, oh well, this happens to be here as well.
Exactly. Oh, there just happens to be a con here as well.
So, do you guys have any final questions? Nothing at all?
What do you mean at all?
Can we have
Those
your
are my
chocolate
questions
recipe?
I've asked you
My what?
already.
Chocolate recipe?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
sure.
chocolate recipe.
Oh, those waffles are delicious. Yeah.
I'm glad.
All the
The human fleshy surface was delicious.
I always cook mine very, very well with a nice spicy mojo.
Yeah, where'd you get it?
I make it by hand, you know
Oh,
that.
really? Oh.
By hand and
Oh, cannibalism jokes.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway.
well, before we sign